Hey, what's up, fellow human beings? I'm gonna scoot back a little bit. I feel like my face is kind of uncomfortably close to the camera. Anyways, today is a day. It is Saturday. And I figured, yes, I know this is Saturday. The weekend is not over. But because I have a feeling that we're going to be doing either a lot of things on Sunday or nothing on Sunday, I figured I'd just post today before I feel too lazy not to post. Anyways, first of all, my brother went onto my Google account in YouTube and deleted one of my videos, which I do not have the video for anymore, like saved on my phone. So, that's gone forever, I guess. But whatever, it's like, it wasn't my best video, so it had him, he was embarrassed by it because he cussed in it and stuff, so it's, it's whatever. I'm gonna close that window. I'll put a cut. So anyways, that happened, which is fine, I guess. I was upset at him for like 5 minutes, and then I was just like, you know what, it's whatever. But the main topic of discussion that I have for today is, and you can probably tell this by the title, but what is wrong with humanity right now? Like, okay, everyone is hating on every YouTuber because of things that they have done in the past. Now, I don't have a past on YouTube very much. I mean, I guess you could say that I've done one thing where I talked about my stepfather being rude, but that's it, and I feel like I've grown since that time. Like, him and I are pretty close now. He still gets, he's still not great all the time, but he's changed a little bit, I've changed a little bit, and usually we can find our our rhythm, so that's improved. But, mainly so the only two videos I've watched, and the only ones that I know of so far, are, Shane Dawson's and Jenna Marble's apology videos. Now, I can't, okay, I get it. The world is in this weird place right now where everything is offensive for some reason. I don't know when or why that started happening. I know that a lot of it had to do with the death of George Floyd, and I guess I'm not a black person, so I do not know how frustrated that makes black people feel, but I can tell you something, that up until now, the people who have been arrested the most are actually white people, and white people get shot by black officers all the time. It's not like, okay, I feel like people drag the past into these kinds of things. White people used to have all the privilege, so when they get killed, people turn a blind eye to that. But black people used to be very oppressed, and I am not saying that I don't care about that oppression, because it was honestly very horrible. It was one of the worst things that humanity has ever done. Keeping people slaves just because they're a different skin tone, just because they're from a different place. Really keeping slaves at all, is just one of the most horrible things on the planet, obviously, that has ever been done. But I feel like we should have moved past that, and for some reason, some people haven't. Listen. I know that, like, it seems like black people get more oppressed. And actually, I'm not going to say that they don't, because I am not a black person. I don't know. I'm not going to say that they don't get more oppressed. I'm just going to say that it's so hard for me to explain because I'm not very good at working these things out, but people seem to be overreacting a lot more now than they used to. And people seem to be dragging up other people's pasts so that, well, I don't even know why. They do it. Maybe because they feel like it needs to be done, or maybe just because they need a person to be mad at other than themselves. I don't know. I don't really understand a lot of people. People can be very hard to understand at times. So, I guess I just kind of wanted to address the fact that, well, actually a few facts. I guess I might start with the fact that they are not going to be airing Gone with the Wind anymore on, I think, HBO or, I'm not sure, some other big streaming, TV platform, I guess. And yes, it does have racist moments. It is set in the 1860s. The thing that the people were fighting against was whether or not slaves should even be allowed. And in the end, slaves were not allowed. And of course, it's told in this perspective of someone who has lived with slaves her whole life, and workers, and a maid. But I think it's an important part of our history. Am I wrong? I mean, I think that everyone should know about the horrible things that went on back then, and about just how much lives had to change to fit this new standard, and how people's lives were uprooted by that war. Of course, people's lives are uprooted by every war, but I mean, this war really turned things around for a lot of the world. Of course, America probably first, and I was in world history last year, so I can say that Europe was definitely had its really low moments, and they kept slaves for a long time. They, what was it called? It starts with an A. I'm sorry. Well, they basically didn't want black people to live in great areas. They kind of wanted people to separate themselves from African people. And yes, that's horrible. Anyways, that's enough of a history lesson, but the fact that they're taking down movies, and even, okay, on the news the other day, I heard that they were going to be taking Aunt Jemima syrup off of the market until they come up with a new design for it, I think. because it portrays a black woman, perhaps a maid. I don't know. It probably was. Maybe. I haven't really looked into that. I might. But, basically, it was just, they wanted to take that off of the market simply because it portrayed a black woman cooking in a kitchen. And don't get me wrong, it may be completely out of my place to say that a black woman, or perhaps a black maid cooking, is a bad thing. And it could be entirely and extremely racist. It was made back in the time. I think Aunt Jemima syrup has been around for quite a while. I'm not sure. As I said, I just saw it on the news. I don't have that much information on that. However, I feel like, what are they going to change it to? A white woman cooking in a kitchen? I mean, it's not like people, every time that they take out a bottle of Aunt Jemima syrup, they're like, oh, I like this syrup because it portrays a black maid cooking in a kitchen. Since when have people been offended by syrup? Like, people are getting offended by almost nothing. People are thinking of taking down a statue of Gandhi because he didn't agree with what black people were doing when he was alive. Gandhi was, for the most part, a peacemaker. And even if he wasn't always right, no one is always right. No one is right 100% of the time. No one can be. If I was right 100% of the time, if people were right all the time, wouldn't life be pretty much worthless? I mean, I don't know. I just feel bad for all the YouTubers who are being kind of impacted in a bad way by all of these things, because they have let go of their past selves. They have changed, and they are better people. But people can't accept that for some reason. They go back 10 years to find them at their worst. And I just don't get why they have to do that. And then when they apologize, so sometimes the comments are mixed. Sometimes people say that you have grown a lot and it's great that you are apologizing, and sometimes people say that they just want attention and they aren't making a genuine apology. And I feel like they have already reflected on their pasts a lot. Enough to the point where they have basically done a full 180. I mean, if you look at Jenna Marbles' old videos, and if you just look at them from a different perspective, you can see that they're pretty funny. If you look at them now, and you think of them as if they are racist or sexist or anything. Sorry, I had to pause the video for a second. My brother walked in the room, so this might be a different angle. But anyways, if you look at things from a bad perspective, obviously you're going to think that the videos are really bad. But if you look at them from the perspectives of a lot of the people who lived in, well, not lived in 2010, obviously, but if you look at them and think about the humor that was acceptable in the 2010s, then, and even some of the music that was acceptable, then you'd notice that obviously it was a different time. People get much more easily offended now. I don't know why, but they do. And obviously, people change with the times. It just makes me think of how John Mulaney said that he used to smoke crack, but now he's afraid to get flu shots. People change. They change. I mean, people are bringing back things like when Jimmy Fallon once did blackface, and now they want his whole show to get canceled. He has been, and obviously, I do not think blackface is right in any way. I know that it is a horrible thing. I have researched it a lot because of this video. I know that it has horrible implications. What I just can't understand is why you'd want to basically ruin a man's whole career just because of something he made almost 20 years ago. Because he may have been a man, he may have been an adult, but things were so different. The humor was different. I mean, let me say, for example, the word retarded. Today, people think that the word retarded is absolutely unacceptable. It is extremely inappropriate, and that is because today people use that word to describe a person who is not very intelligent. But back when my mom was a kid, people would use the word retarded to portray the feeling that something was so crazy it made them feel like they were dumbfounded. It was retarded. Maybe, oh, there were 15-foot waves the other day. Sorry, I'm using a wave reference because I surf occasionally. I'm not good enough to surf 15-footers, but you know. Anyways, if, for example, someone said, oh, there were 15-foot waves the other day, my mom probably would have said, oh, that's retarded. Not because the person who said that there were 15-foot waves was stupid, but because the fact that there were 15-foot waves is crazy. I don't know. I just feel like people try and dig up dirt on other people just so that they can make another person feel bad. I don't know if that's exactly right. I know that many YouTubers have grown a lot because of what other people say, but I feel like if they've already grown, if they've already changed, then bringing up the past is just going to make them feel like they haven't changed enough, I guess. I don't know. It's just something for anyone out there to consider. Feel free to disagree. I don't mind. Feel free to dislike this video. That's okay. Feel free to unsubscribe. But I feel like humanity is taking a turn for the worse. And I don't want to see all of my favorite YouTubers who have been around for so long leave YouTube just because some people don't like what they've done in the past. Well, I guess that's it.